1st, 2016 at 6 o'clock. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hoffman.
Here.
Mr. Pena.
Here.
Mr. Thackeray.
Here.
Mr. Piper.
Here.
Mr. Paul.
Here.
Mr. Scott.
Here.
Mr. Fields.
Here.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And the first thing on our agenda this evening is we have a Monument Square District update for the 2016 Holiday Open House. It's here already.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Diane Kramer. I'm a member of the board of Monument Square District, and I'm coming to you this evening to give you an update on the activities that we've been doing this year, and also to tell you a little bit about Holiday Open House coming up. I'm going to start out with just going over some of the events that have gone on this year that we do and that are coming up. We had Rock the Monument 4 Miler. As we all know, we have Art Fair on the Square in July. The Simon Kenton Chili Festival and Hoopla Parade was in September. Coming up is our Holiday Open House, which is on the 25th of November. And the CCPA is having a walk tour. We have a holiday window decorating contest coming up. And Santa is coming to town on November the 25th. And that will be our Santa Land starting up. And where every Friday evening Santa Claus is going to be at the Gloria Theater for the children. Along with that, we're going to have the second annual Urbana Holiday Horse Parade, where we're going to have lighted horses following Santa's carriage down Scioto Street to come to the Gloria. And then our fundraising event will be the first Wednesday of December, which is our Holiday Gala. And again, that's going to be held at the Cheetah Lounge. I'm not even sure what the name of the street is. It's off of Miami Street. Yeah. Clinton Avenue, did you say? Glen, excuse me, Glen Avenue. Some of you may know where the Cheetah Lounge is. So I don't know how many years we've been doing that. It's changed a little bit, but it's become the Holiday Gala the last few years. The other thing, Marcia, did I say everything I needed to on that? Okay. The other thing I just wanted to mention to you are some of the projects that we've been doing. The biggest one is our Legacy Park project right down here on the corner of the square. Monument Square District has really taken the lead on that, but we are grateful to the city for getting us started. I just thought I would give you an update on how much money we've spent there the last couple of years, actually the last 3 years. In 2014, when the original park started to be constructed, we spent about $8,000 that year, and that was money that our organization raised. We didn't get any donations other than from businesses and individuals around town. In 2015, we really got into the construction, and we spent $11,700 that year. And then in 2016, this year, we spent $4,074. Let's see, make sure I got my years correct. You may have noticed that we just finished the painting of the pillars, and the lighting has been installed now. So we are well on the way to being finished with that project, and we really are proud of it, and we like the way it's looking. And we hope that it'll be well used by people in our town, when they're uptown dining, shopping, whatever it is they want to do. The other thing that we're planning for Legacy Park, and we're excited about this, is that we're hoping to we are going to erect a 15-foot Christmas tree in Legacy Park that we're going to put lights on and decorations so that we can have a community Christmas tree. So we're excited about that. And of course, we have installed the kiosk at Legacy Park, which has our walking map. And the downtown walking map that we have printed, and I think you have a copy of them in your packet. If you look at the Discover Urbana brochure, this one here, this is Monument Square District's brochure that we have produced. And in it, it has our walking map that gives you an idea, gives you a location of each business and restaurant in downtown Urbana. So we're very, very proud of that brochure. Also then, you've noticed the seasonal decorations probably around the monument. flowers, pumpkins, and we'll be having our snowflakes installed on our light poles again for this Christmas. We're very grateful to the city for helping us do all those things that we don't have the manpower or the equipment to actually do. So we're grateful to the city for helping us with those. We have some plans for some future projects, the biggest one being installation of flower baskets on the street lights. We were able to purchase some flower baskets from a town near Columbus, which I think might have been Bexley, if I'm not mistaken. They were getting new decorations and we bought the ones they had that we're using for quite a good discounted price. We're hoping to be able to put those up and plant flowers in those. We still need to work out how we're going to water those, so we may be asking the city for some assistance on that. You may have noticed our marketing materials, and in your packet, you can see the Ohio Country Register, which we advertise in on page 18. You can see our list of our marketing wrap card, which you also have a copy of that in your packet. The front is our advertisement for our holiday open house. Then on the back are some other events that are coming up in your banner. So that's something we're proud of there. Also on my sheet, I just wanted to bring up the importance of being a downtown affiliate member of Heritage Ohio. That is a partnership that we have been using for information and directions how to do certain things. There's a lot of resources in that from that organization, as well as a retail magazine that some of our retail people have taken advantage of. The last thing I just want to stress is that our funding sources. We have two major events that we hold each year, and that is Art Fair on the Square in July and our Chili Festival in September. And those are our two main fundraising. Well, they're not exactly fundraising, although we do end up with a profit on those two events. Our big fundraising event will be our Christmas Gala, and it has been for the last few years. The other thing I wanted to just show you in closing is, again, to do with Legacy Park. We have placed a big stone. You may have noticed that sitting there at the corner of Legacy Park, and on that stone is going to be a plaque. And the plaque is going to have the names of all of the downtown businesses and individuals and different organizations that have sponsored Legacy, helped us along the way with Legacy Park. So we're excited about that being placed on that stone. The other thing I wanted to mention was, there's in your packet, there's a couple of other things you might be interested to look at. Santa's Workshop window decorating contest is coming up. There's a paper about that. Also, some more information about our holiday horse parade that's coming up too. That's our second year we're doing that, and each year we hope to make it a little bit better. Marcia, do you have anything to add? Did we cover everything? Does anyone have any questions? Anything they'd like to ask me about Monument Square District?
Yeah, I think you guys do a phenomenal job. And it's even just the little touches can make all the difference for somebody that comes in from out of town. And they'll see the flowers, they'll see the Legacy Park, or they'll see the square, which is, I guess, really a circle. But all the plantings and everything that you guys do, you just do a great job.
Thank you.
Do you guys have enough volunteers and helpers right now?
We never have enough.
Okay. How short do you think you are as far as
Volunteers?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what projects we have going, but we can always use people who are interested in helping us out, and just either give me or Marcia or anyone on the board a call if you'd like to help with things. Coming up, of course, I can tell you that one thing we do need volunteers for is Santa Land. We do need some help each week when the children come under the glory, just to have some adults there. So if you'd be interested in helping out.
Who would they contact, or how would they contact?
On the window contest, it has the Facebook and the email address and phone number.
So the email is msdurbana, so Monument Square District @gmail.com.
Right, and we have it broken down into a schedule of what days and hours that Santa will be over there, and then the different activities. This year we have a new person in charge of Santa Land, Steve Evans, one of our community
are used to doing parades with horses, and so.
Unfortunately, I was out of town for this last year, but I heard a lot of people were talking about it for 2 weeks afterwards, so.
And I just want to add just that we have a really super dedicated group of people on our board that really work hard. We're all volunteers. We all have jobs. And so we're donating as much time as we possibly can. Marcia does a super job as our president. And so she wears a lot of hats.
Let's don't debate that one, okay?
Anyway, thank you for your time.
And
Thank
we've
you.
got all the things if somebody wants to be on the board, yes.
I've got one more question.
Yeah.
If somebody want to use that park for a fundraiser, who do they contact?
Well,
Or,
any one of us
uh,
on the board, but we are, and also that's one thing that we are working on as a board, is to come up with some kind of a process by which that we can, let groups that request it use Legacy Park for
It's absolutely
activities.
beautiful. I know people like to use it for things, and I don't know if they have to go to the city or Monument Square or how.
It's through us, and
Okay,
we
great.
have an application process similar to the special request form that the city has. And then as a board, we review it, check it off, make sure, what they're doing and that kind of thing. A lot of people have been using it for photo ops,
Right.
for their weddings or graduation pictures, those kinds of things.
And they probably don't need to get permission
Yeah,
unless
no.
they're going to use the whole thing for a period of
Correct,
time.
correct.
Great job, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Okay, the next thing on our agenda, we have the approval of Van City Council regular session minutes of October 18, 2016, and our work session minutes from October 25th, 2016. Look for those, we need a motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Are there any questions, additions, or corrections on either of those two sets of minutes? I will say that the work session with the commissioners went, I thought, very well. I appreciate all of you being there, and I think got a lot started, not finished. All those in favor of accepting your Van City Council regular session minutes and work session minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, thank you. Communications, Madam Clerk.
Number 1, planning commission meeting minutes of 09/26/16, email 10/27/16. Number 2, division activities report for July through September, see attached.
Okay, council, to speak to these, we need a motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Did you get them? Okay. Any questions or comments on the planning commission minutes? Any comments or questions on the activities report for July?
Good report. Like it. Very informative. Does this go up on the website? Put this up for everybody to see?
I don't think we posted on the website, basically for internal,
Okay.
just that you guys know what's going on.
There's a lot of good information in here, though. You might want to consider putting it out there.
Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting our two communications this evening signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous? Move right into administrative reports from the Board of Control.
Number 1, the Board of Control recommends council authorize a purchase order to Champaign Residential Services Incorporated in the amount of $30,178 for a standard highway easement for parcel 23SH on US Route 36 East. This acquisition is due to the upcoming US Route 36 improvement project, ODOT PID number 96836, which will take place in 2017. This expense will be charged to the Capital Improvement Fund and is in the 2016 budget.
Okay, council, speak to this, we need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Got 'em? Go ahead, Doug.
All right, if you remember, many months ago, we embarked on a process of acquiring right-of-way on 36 for next year's project. Most of the property that we've acquired has been temporary construction easements, basically a 24-month rental of property to do construction. However, we did have 3 parcels that we're gonna speak to tonight. This is one of them, where we had to acquire standard highway easements, basically buying permanent right-of-way. Along with that, there are also some signs that have to essentially eventually be purchased, in order for us to have ownership to be able to take those signs down for the project. Basically, they're in some way in the way of the project, and the only way we have the right to that sign is to purchase that sign outright. So part of this value is purchasing, in the case of Champaign Residential, there's actual value for the land itself, there's value for purchasing the sign outright, and then there's also other items in the take, including asphalt pavement, concrete curbing, loss of a parking space, shrubbery, landscape rocks, seeded lawn, landscape edging. So that being said, the total value that the appraisers and review appraisers signed off on was $30,178. Champaign Residential has agreed to accept that amount, but it needed to come to council to officially allow a check to be issued for that amount. You haven't seen any of these to this point as far as border control items, because all of the parcels previous to what we're going to talk about this evening have been below the threshold that would require those to come to council. So these three are larger value, being that they're standard highway easement. And the other thing to keep in mind, this is also an area that has commercial property, and commercial property has a higher value. And in this area, commercial property has a value that runs the gamut as far as values, but it is a higher area as far as what property values are, relatively speaking, comparatively to the rest of the city.
Mr. Fields, questions?
All these properties are on the south side.
Yeah, there would be three in a row. Champaign Residential is the first one that we'll speak to tonight.
Thank you.
Mr. Hoffman?
Are they, is there gonna tear all that up for room to work and then put it back, or how's that gonna work? That's pretty close there if I'm, where I'm thinking it's at, I mean, the road literally almost touches the structure there.
The structure, I think, is 40 feet approximately from the edge of the right-of-way right now. It's either 30 or 40.
Maybe just the shrubs that make it seem.
Yeah, it's close, and it will be closer once this right-of-way is acquired. But that sign that's there, I want to say maybe a quarter of it or an eighth of it will be within the take. So
Is that sidewalk going back where it's at, or is that gonna?
I think the sidewalk is being reconstructed, but I'd have to look at the plans on exactly where. I'm not all that familiar with, like, as well as Tyler could speak to that part of it, but.
But all this was arrived at by ODOT.
Yeah, I think originally when we scoped the project, we thought we had right-of-way on these three parcels that we could use, and ODOT determined that we didn't have what we needed, and we actually had to purchase right-of-way. Which is one reason the project didn't get constructed this year and was pushed off a year.
Right.
So.
Okay, thank you.
So, just hit the high points for me, Doug, so everybody knows what we're talking about as far as when you talk about the 36 project. I know we're basically talking sidewalks, curbs, gutters, that sort of thing. We're not
Right.
talking about expanding to 4 lanes or anything crazy like that.
No, the first thing that folks would see when the project starts is if there are ditches that are open ditches where stormwater flows, those ditches would go underground through piping. And then on top of that, then there'd be a lot of fill brought in and leveling things off. And then you would see improvements on the surface. So anywhere there's gaps in sidewalks, those gaps would be filled, so you'd have continuous sidewalk from parcel to parcel. Then curb and gutter, lighting, trees, tree lawn areas, things like that. So it's aesthetic and it's
Okay.
and it's also to be pedestrian.
I
The
don't-
main goal is to improve pedestrian walkability in
Right,
that area.
okay, so I don't recall, we probably talked about this before. Are we gonna do the same type of lights and the same spacing as is on Scioto up 36?
A similar light, the spacing's probably going to be greater.
Okay.
And we also are in the process right now of converting Scioto Street to LED from high pressure sodium.
Right.
And I think if you go out there at night, it's different than it was with high pressure sodium. The LED just seems to be less objectionable to the eye.
Yeah.
I guess is the best way. to
Yeah, I
put it.
agree with that.
So.
That's all I have. Thanks, Doug.
Mr. Scott?
I have no questions, thank you.
The sign
sign outright. We actually are putting in the plans that it will be salvaged for our use, and if we have somewhere we can use it or sell it off or whatever it may be, we might be able to get some of the value back. We have one city facility we've discussed, maybe it would be something we could reinstall or incorporate into
They don't want to
that
move it back
location.
and reinstall it though.
Do what?
They can't move it back and reinstall it.
They have the right in this process to buy it back for salvage value, but in their case, they opted to just let us buy it outright. But part of the negotiation is they did have the ability where they could buy it back. We'd pay for it, and then they buy it back from
Are
us.
they gonna put new signage up?
I'm not sure on that. Our negotiator had all of the actual discussion with them as far as, all we know is they were buying it outright and they're not buying it back for salvage value, so it will be ours to take.
Mr. Payne,
You said there was 3 signs?
On this particular parcel, there's one monument sign.
All right.
Mr. Piper?
That's on the backside of CRSI.
Yeah, it's, the sign is near that newer building they built probably 6, 7, 8 years ago. Up on the back, the 36 side.
Thank you. Any other questions, council? Unfortunately, I've got one. How wide a strip are we buying?
I'm not sure about width. It is 0.069 net acres, or 3,006 square feet, at $85,000 per acre. And then you've got all of the improvements that have a value, and then the cost of the sign is factored into that too. So the total value is the $30,158. They have a standard of form they provide this to us in, as far as the appraiser and the review appraiser.
This is pretty much the same process, like say across the school.
Yeah.
You have an appraiser, then you have another appraiser come in and check that one,
Right.
validate, make sure the numbers are right. Then they settle on the amount and bring it forward.
Right.
But you have no idea how wide or just the length of the CRSI property?
I believe it's the length of the property.
About half of it. Sidewalk, curb, gutters, no clear down.
Yeah, it says the taking is irregular in shape and runs along East US Highway 36. I think there's a map I don't have, but I'm thinking it runs the frontage.
Tyler have all the details?
Yeah.
I'll stop and see. Thank you. No further questions, council? All those in favor accept the Board of Control's recommendation, authorize the purchase order to Champaign Residential Service, Inc., in the amount of $30,178 for a highway easement. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. And that's the only Board of Control. Then we're moving right into a full house, citizens' comments. We'll start at the top of my list. Mr. Ledford. Who's the top of a lot of people's list, I'll bet.
No good ones, I'm sure. Back again, as you said when you saw me in the hall.
Right.
I told you I'd just keep coming back. Gary Ledford, Director of Champaign Transit, just here at budget time to see if it's a possibility to get any funding from the city of Urbana. And I put at each one of your tables, or your spots, the list of the percentage of riders from 2015 and currently through September of 16 that ride from the city of Urbana. And it's about 81%, and runs about the same every year. And then I also, attached to that is I got some figures from other counties that are about the same size as ours, and then from some towns that are close to ours in proximity as to what they get from their city government.
Okay, council, you had a chance to look this over, I assume, where you are right now, as I see you studying that. So is ridership up generally, or
Yes.
steady?
Yeah, steady. Yes, sir.
Okay.
About 30,000 last year.
And where do you get most of your funding?
Actually, it keeps getting cut from the state. Well, last time I was here, we got 55,000 from state. For 2017, we're getting nothing. The federal money was about
We know that.
213, and this year it's gonna be 170, so, I get that, and then we have, contracts like the Area Agency on Aging, Job and Family Services, Veterans Association, to make up the difference. We get a little matching money from the county commissioners for those grants. You have to match a certain portion of those grants, and they pick up that part. Ends up being about 13 grand a year.
Okay. Mr. Hoffman, any questions?
Clarify, what does the county currently contribute?
Well, it's kinda, they contribute 13,000 or roughly there to match the grants, but then I pay them $25,000 that I used to get for free as, it's a Maximus thing, it's like for the prosecutor, for the commissioners, for, paychecks, all the miscellaneous items that you have. I used to get that free, but they couldn't figure out a way to charge me for rent that was $10,500. So in lieu of paying rent, now I pay $25,000. So kinda, I get money for something, but I end up paying back more than I actually get. So I'm still about 10 grand in the hole with the county.
Mr. Paul?
Oh, you done? Sorry.
Yeah.
So between the state, you said between the state and federal money, you're down about 90
Yes.
for next year?
Yes.
How are you gonna cover that?
It may come to the thing where you have to cut services, I don't know.
Okay. If you had to bear the brunt of that, how big of a cut do you think you're gonna have to make?
That would be the state's call. Before you make any cuts at all, you have to take that through ODOT, so, you know, they would be the one that would decide whether it's out of county trips, which are more expensive clearly than in-county trips. So we hope not to cut any. I mean, it's been steadily declining over the years.
So then
Not
the
that
budget
you-
again.
Yeah, the only thing that really saves us is our contract with, like, Job and Family Services, $165,000, but that's not guaranteed money. If those people don't ride, I don't get the money.
Right.
It's all based on ridership.
So it's like, it's a per trip?
Correct,
kind of-
yes, sir,
okay,
yeah.
got it, okay. Great, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Scott, questions?
Nope.
Okay.
The percentages there, can you just tell me what that, I mean, I'm having a hard time figuring out what 83% is on that.
Okay, that's like of our trips, total trips for the transit for that year, 83% are riders from city proper.
Okay.
And the northeast is like northeast, northwest, southeast, that's the area of town that they come from.
Okay. All right, I was just confused about the percentages, I didn't understand.
Sorry about that.
Okay, that's all I had, thanks.
Mr. Pinion?
How many staff there?
I have currently 14 drivers and then 3 officers. We have a dispatcher, myself, and then an administrative lady.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes, I have a question. I talked to a lot of your constituents that ride your CPS buses, and I've been approached by many of them that said they really depend on CPS
Yes, sir.
to get to where they need to go. And they wanted to know why the county shuts them all down on holidays.
That's just county policy. They're not gonna pay us to be there, so pretty much the drivers are gonna drive for
See, these
free.
people are telling me, you know, they depend on it, and if you guys don't run, they don't get a ride.
That's true. Of those holidays, yes, sir.
You see, a lot of them go to the dialysis center out on Thursdays.
Right. And a lot of those holidays, they'll make it up the day before or the day after. If they fall on a Monday, they'll go on a
That's
Tuesday
the
as
question I've
opposed.
been asking.
Because sometimes the
I don't know
dialysis is
if
closed
I
also.
thought somebody could find out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Fields?
Are there any other ways that you can supplement that? Like through your nursing homes or anything like that?
The
Have you
Memorial
tried that?
Foundation gives us $5 grand a year. They've gone the last couple of years and done that. Nursing homes, all they wanna do is give us their worst pickups, truthfully. You know, the people they don't wanna transport, they call us.
Now,
So they're not gonna supplement our system.
do you pay all, the people that ride, do they also pay a little piece of something or not?
Some.
If they're able to.
Yeah, exactly. If they're not like signed up with Job and Family Services or they're elderly and can get, their agency grant till it runs out,
Mhm.
yeah, a lot of them will sign, and then when we're out of money, then they have to pay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Once again, council, any other questions? I have one.
Yes, sir.
Looking over these figures, your Urbana Northeast, 13,000, Northwest 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Every one of these in Northeast Urbana is,
That's where the trip originated.
so, why are the 13,000, just taking the first one, 13,000 in Northeast Urbana and only 2,000 in Northwest Urbana? Where are you collecting that many fares, I guess?
That, like, out of the northeast section of Urbana, like, split it just like 36, 68. The northeast section, that's where those trips originated.
Right out here.
Yeah.
Are they mostly nursing home?
Very well could be. Yeah, north and east. Yeah, Messiah Manor would be in that block. Rotary would be in that block.